Hello, how are we doing? Ellie's down here. Hello, guys, how are we doing? I haven't put up a video for a while, have I? I got into it and then I got out of it. Yeah, oh well. That's me all over, that is. So, how are we doing, peeps? How are we doing? I see summer's arrived, which is very nice because now we're getting some nice weather at last. Um, but apparently it's not by the end of the week. It's going to start raining again. uh, whatever. Hasn't this year gone very, very fast? My God, I can't believe it's June already. I cannot believe that. That's just mental. Can you believe that my bike is due an MOT? It runs out in a couple of weeks, I think. Week or two, yeah, 2 weeks' time already. I've only just flipping MOT'd it, haven't I? And now I've got to do it again. I can't believe that. That's mad. Absolutely mad. But there we go. That's it, I suppose. Yeah, so how was everybody? What's everybody been up to? I've not been doing anything. Hence not doing well, that's a lie actually. I have been doing something. And I'm a very naughty boy because I haven't been filming it. And yes, and I should have, shouldn't I? Really? Yes, I got myself another motorbike. There was a girl that lives round the corner, in the village. Anyway, I found that this girl had this, or this lady. She had this moped for sale, and she used to use it. She bought it from brand new. It was a Lex Moto Arizona, and she bought it a 125. She bought it from new, and she rode it for most of its life, for about 4 or 5 years. I think it's done about 14,000 miles, something like that. So she used it every day, and then COVID hit, and then she got furloughed, and then she just put the bike into storage. Well, she basically just left it outside. She left it outside her flat, and that's where it stayed. And it basically sat there for 3 years. And I went round and had a look at it the other day, and all the tyres were flat, and it was pretty rusty. It's basically just sat there. The seats disintegrated, or the vinyl on the seat, that's all split. It looks pretty sad, really. The headlights all gone rusty because that's chrome. Well, you know what? It's the classic Chinese bike. I mean, it's a good bike, but the metalwork's rubbish, or the paintwork's rubbish. They're not painted properly. If they painted the bikes properly, they would last a lot longer. Mechanics wise, it's not too bad, but it's the fact that there's no protection on anything, um, which is where most of the problems are, I'm finding. So I've stripped the whole thing, and I've turned it into a little bobber. I'll put some pictures up so you can have a look. But yes, it's all right. I like it. So I'm hoping just to use it as a general run around, because the Hartford Bailey, as you know, um, she's pretty low mileage, but I'm having problems getting parts for her. You see, yes, I don't know if you can remember. I had problems with the starter clutch. I managed to find another part, but I had to modify it and part of the old part to fit it. Anyway, it's starting to play up again. It's basically because I used the part of the old part, which is causing the similar problems to what I had before. So I'm now going to have to use the new part, which doesn't fit because it's too small. But I've managed to find some shims, so I'm hoping I should be able to space it out or pack it out so it should fit properly. um, I should have done that in the first place really, but I didn't have any shims, so I had to just put it back, I know, so I could get it working. Anyway, like I say, it was hard getting parts, so I decided to keep that as my touring bike or for long rides, and just keep this little Lex Moto just for sort of poodling around, popping down the shop, or popping up my mum's or whatever really. The idea was just to give me a project really, just give me something to do and sort of do it up, and I might even sell it, I don't know yet, but I only paid £50 for it, so I was quite pleased really. I don't know how much I've spent on it. I've replaced quite a lot already, which wasn't the plan really, but you know what it's like once you start doing something and it's like, well, I've got to replace that and that and that, and you're like, oh, one thing leads to another. It's like, oh. um Yes, I bought some new brake shoes for the front, or pads rather. Bought some new brake pads, and unfortunately, the bolts that hold the pads in, there's two little bars retaining pins that hold the um pads in the caliper. Well, they've corroded into the caliper, so they just rounded off straight away. So, ugh. So I may have to try and modify that somehow. I may drill them out and then put in some kind of pin. I don't know yet. I'll have to do something. I don't really want to buy a new caliper. It may be sticking. It was sticking. The caliper was sticking because you could see where one of the pads had worn almost down to nothing, and the other pad wasn't moving. It wasn't worn at all. So you could see it wasn't working properly. So yes, maybe I'll have to buy another one. I don't really want to. I managed to get another seat cover. Because it's cheap, because they're made with cheap vinyl. The I haven't found a single seat that isn't rubbish and split and no good at all anywhere. So it was no point buying a second-hand seat anywhere because they're all just the same. So yes, the bike is a 2016, so it's only about 7 years old, so it's not too bad. But it looks very manky. It looked manky. There's a lot of corrosion on it, and it looks manky because basically it's been sat out in all winds and weathers for the last 3 years. She hadn't changed the petrol either. There was a full tank of petrol, which again had been there for 3 years. So there was 3-year-old stale petrol in there. The carburetor was so clogged I couldn't do anything with it, so I had to change that. Luckily, I had a replacement, so I put a new carb on it, or another carb. So that was okay, luckily. Which I still need to rejet. Actually, it needs rejetting because it'll idle, but it won't run properly. So I still need to do that. I had to weld the exhaust as well. Loads of holes in the exhaust. Once I started trying to patch it, it just got worse and worse. The welder just made even more holes in it. So of course I'd be chasing. I'd be burning another hole, and then have another patch and another hole. So I think it was it £200 for an exhaust? I thought, I'm not paying that. I'm definitely not paying that. You've got no chance. So I thought, no, I'm just going to keep patching it. It didn't actually blow properly because it was it's twin skinned, you see, because it's a 125. The 125 exhaust is so small to get the back pressure for the small engine that it's like a pipe in a pipe. So it's not actually the size that you see on the outside, you know. So, but anyway, yeah. So there's a picture of it now, of what it looks like at the moment. I'm still in the process of painting it at the moment. So yes, I've modified the rear wheel arch and stuff as well. Sort of, like I say, I've bobbered it. I've made a new wheel arch for the back. It was a spare arch I had for the for Bailey. It was too small, so I had to cut it down the middle and extend it, make it wider, and then weld another piece back in. And yes, it worked okay. I was quite pleased with it. It worked out all right. So it was basically extending it, making it wider, and then fitting it over the back of the bike. Because obviously the original one was all plastic, and I didn't want that. I didn't want plastic. So to make it look better, I reused an old mudguard from another bike, or another mudguard. You know, a sort of universally fit type thing. Modified it to fit this one, but yeah, it's all right. I think it looks okay. Anyway, that's it. I've gone on long enough. Wow, sorry guys, I've kept you going for too long here. So yeah, so that's what I've been up to, and I'm hoping I can get it MOT'd soon. But I think I'm going to have to get Bailey sorted first, because she needs that starter clutch doing. I think those shims came in the post this morning, so I may have to do that this weekend. Anyway, I'm going. Right. Hope you have a good week, guys. And I'll hopefully I'll get this up today. It's Tuesday today, but I've no idea when I'm actually going to get to edit it today. Shut up, Ost. Goodbye. I'll see you in the next one.